the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. Yes, my voice is virtually gone. So that's okay because I have JPEG back there who's going to bail in and jump in when it totally disappears periodically. But I'm back. You know what? This is the first show I've been in studio for 3 weeks, John?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. So it's like starting all over again. Thank you for watching, whether you're watching us on whether you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, that's okay. Take us on the go. WWDBTV phone app for your Android, WWDBTV LV to your iPhones, or if you are part of the many millions of people that have Roku, download the WWDBTV Studios channel to Roku. And in about 72 hours, you'll see this show, along with all my other shows and all the other shows. And an abundance and a deluge. What were some of the other words we came up with the other night? Glut. That's right. Short for gluttony. Glutton. Anyway. And profusion. So check it out. We're all over the place. 702-992-3207. Listen. Halloween is coming up in a couple of days. So I thought no better way to celebrate Halloween than have a couple of witches on the show today. So joining me today in studio, we will officially get into bios and all that other stuff. But I have the weird Sistas joining me today. We have Mama Voodoo, and you just want to go by T. How do you want to go by T?
It's Lady TA.
Lady TA. Well, welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay. Folks, I should be scared right now because I got a skull on a stick sitting next to me, but I'm not going to. I'm in a good place right now. So we're all good. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Yeah, I think you're right, John.
Okay, that's Fred, and he's dead.
That's Fred. He's dead. Actually, this is Fred Jr.
Fred Jr. We're senior. I'm afraid to ask.
Senior is actually at Opportunity Village.
Oh.
And this will be his last year. He's retiring.
He's retiring. What do you do for retirement for senior? How do you celebrate?
He goes in the closet.
There you have it. If you ever want to know what skeletons do whenever they retire, they just go back in the closet.
Right back in the closet.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, there you go. You ask a question, you get the right answer. Usually what I'd like to do now is go over some stuff that's been going on, like sharing some news. I'm going to get you guys' thoughts on it. So, of course, as you all know, that means it's time for Vegas Unwrapped 2.0.
With a nod to the past and an eye to the future, here is Aaron Phillips with Vegas Unwrapped 2.0.
All right. Now, it's been a couple of weeks since I've been here. I'm trying to figure out, John, who I sound like with this really bad voice. I'm trying not to kill it, but I sound like, I don't know, James Earl Jones on steroids. I don't know. But I've accumulated many pieces of news information of winners as of late. And of course, you know what I like to do is wonder how much money these people have actually spent before winning. That's right. But it doesn't matter because they're winners. So here's the first one. John, I don't know if you heard of these, but Friday the 13th was actually very lucky for somebody in town.
Me too.
Was it lucky for you?
Not this time, but some years back, yes. Friday the 13th is always my lucky day.
I don't know if I want to delve any further than
No,
that.
don't ask.
Don't ask. That's what I figured. A guest at a casino in Northwest Las Vegas had a lucky Friday the 13th. According to Station Casinos, the unidentified winner won a jackpot worth $101,023 while playing the dancing drums machine at the Santa Fe station. That's right. It's a progressive slot, so they had to only reset it back to $100,000, but good for them. I like that, especially the fact that it's a casino that's not on the Strip. You know, a lot of us locals, we like to go to all those
They're right
places.
down the street. We should go there.
Hey, you know what? We should talk to them about doing a remote show from there and interview all the winners
There you go.
or losers, depending upon how you look at it. So last week, for all you bettors in the NFL, my dad, we were watching the Giants game last week, and he was telling me about this guy. Do you guys bet at all? I mean, do you guys have any insight to bets and results and stuff?
We just get on the 33 board at our favorite bar.
Oh,
they do. I play casinos.
Do you do?
I go on slot machines.
Quarters, dollars?
Honestly, I'm a low roller.
Are you pennies? Because they're hard to find nowadays.
Yeah,
anymore.
We don't have a problem finding them.
Yeah, I'm a low roller, but
Okay.
I've won
roller.
a few
I like
hand
that.
pays.
Okay.
I've won a few hand pays.
Well,
I just do it to relax.
No, of course.
You know.
Yeah, anytime you go in there, you got to spend money that you know you're okay with. If you
Right.
don't win anything back, you don't want to stress over it, right?
Yes, exactly.
So this guy places a bet. In football. Do you guys follow football at all?
Yeah.
Do you know what a parlay bet is?
Yeah.
Okay, so this gentleman placed money down on a 10-team parlay. 10. Okay. So my dad was literally telling me about this while we were watching the Giants game. So a sports bettor at station casinos turned a $250 bet into $200,000 by winning a 10-team parlay, which means he correctly identified 10 winners out of all the games last weekend, and points, and used the point spreads. So
yeah, that's hard to do. So,
and it's very, for a 10
awesome.
team, right?
2
So-
or 3 is hard.
How about one? How about one?
Hey, my mother used to play the Pick Four, which is racing, and she won constantly, and it was all off of instinct. She knew nothing about horse racing. She would look at the name and go, okay. And her biggest win was she used to always call me her littlest redhead, and the horse's name was Littlest Redhead.
Oh, wow.
And
There
it
you go.
was a super long shot, and he came in first place. And my mother came home dancing across the lawn, drunk as a skunk. and I came outside. I was like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I won. Okay, Mom.
She was dancing the happy dance.
Yeah." And she's like, "We're going shopping. We're going out to eat. Let's go."
Well, there you go. But it's so true. I mean, I don't gamble a lot. I'm originally from Jersey. I lived about an hour and a half north of Atlantic City, so I was kind of conditioned to it. An hour and a half is not like 50 feet when you walk into an Albertsons and they're right
Yes,
there.
and
That's
they're right
slightly
there.
different. So here's another one. Las Vegas local wins $90,000 jackpot at a Rampart Casino. The locals are hitting it big now here. According to officials, Charlotte Mallet stopped by on Thursday afternoon this past week at 3 p.m. for a session of dual action bingo. Is there 2 people with guns in there for dual action
Must
bingo?
be, yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. They said she hit the jackpot in just 34 numbers before hitting the jackpot. She only took home $91,000. Not bad.
What was
for
her
her.
name again?
Yeah, I think she's
I'm
John.
gonna Google her.
She's married. There's a
Oh.
picture of her and her husband. Sorry, John.
Yeah.
Now, winning is not always just down to those who we don't know. There was a celebrity race car driver who actually won a jackpot this week in town. Race car driver Christy Georges Barnett turned a $25 bet into more than $1 million at a Las Vegas slot machine. She currently races for the USRA Dirt Mods and Super Trucks, and her husband also is a driver. She won the jackpot at the famous Caesars Palace. This is the way the article's written. So funny when it's written by somebody outside of the Vegas, the famous Caesars Hotel, Let's see, where does it go here? So the crowd was in complete shock. The camera zoomed in on the machine to make sure viewers could clearly see the winning pot of $1.18 million.
Can we have her phone number?
Yeah, exactly. You need a sponsor?
Yes, we do.
Right. Since then, she's
We're
become,
looking for a backer.
she's been racing since she was 20. She's now 63. She's become a 4-time dirt track pro stock champ, 4-time open wheel dirt modified track champ, 2-time 3-wheeler. Bottom line is she likes to drive shit. But here she is. She won $1.2 million, and that'll buy a lot of tires and engines for her
Oh, yeah.
cars.
Nowadays, not too many.
No, that's that's right. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So then who holds up the 4th rim then? That's the
Yeah.
problem, right? So, sometimes, like you were just talking about your mom placing bets, you don't know anything about racing and she just goes with that instinct. Well, imagine if you walked into a store, you buy the raffle tickets in this gas station or whatever, right? Especially in Cali. And you just say, oh, I don't care which one. Just go ahead and pick one for me, person behind the desk. And that person picks a winner that gets you $10 million. That's what happened recently down in
Okay.
Visalia.
You tip that guy who gave you
Ex-
that.
damn right.
You better go in
Exactly.
and say, thank you very much.
Here's a couple thousand,
Here's a
knock
couple of
yourself out.
thousand. Yeah.
Well, if the guy was the station owner, don't they get a commission off of winnings anyway, I believe.
7%.
Is that what it is? But
Yeah.
that goes back to the business.
That
Doesn't
goes
go
to
to
the
the
business,
individual,
yeah,
right?
right?
Right,
Doesn't
go
go
to
to
the
the
business.
person.
Yeah. So it's like tipping somebody at a table when you win
Yeah.
a big hand. So I agree with you. I certainly would have said that. They're giving them something.
And
So
this is a tipping town, so.
this was in California though.
It was the tickets,
slot machine.
yeah.
But that's okay because California man strolled out of a gas station millionaire. It was Brent Young said he was unaware of which scratcher he wanted to buy inside Prince Food and Gas in Visalia, California. So he asked the clerk to help him. I was just like, pick whichever one. I didn't care. So the clerk picked a $30 California 200 time scratch off. After paying for his gas in the game, the California lottery said Young started scratching. About halfway down the ticket, Young uncovered a square showing the game's top prize of $10 million. He claimed a lump sum payment of $5.8 million.
Yep.
The gas station owner collected a $50,000 prize for selling the winning ticket. However, there's nothing here that says that he was tipped because the IRS is probably watching the story. So he probably doesn't want to blame it.
Sure.
But anyway, so, hey, just pick me a winner and there you go. You have it. Now, I haven't played this one in a long time. Megabucks. Megabucks hit for $12 million. A lucky slot player just at the tail end of last weekend. Of course, the person wished to remain anonymous. Doesn't everybody do that? They don't want to have all these relatives come out of that. Right?
It's not just relatives.
Creditors.
Creditors and they're all going to go,
That's right.
hey, hi.
That's right. That's right.
Can I have
Give me
some of
my
that?
share. So the jackpot hit on October 18th. It was a jackpot worth $12,186,000. Let's see. That was see if they quickly mentioned it. This was on the Megabucks Spitfire multipliers at the Excalibur. The jackpot, which was on the 18th, marked the second largest Megabucks jackpot to hit in Nevada this year. In April, a guest at a property in Reno turned a $10 bet into a $14 million winning after hitting on Megabucks. So that's all the winnings I have to share with you. So one more. I forgot one was buried underneath. Las Vegas Valley Local hits six-figure jackpot in Henderson. There you go. We haven't talked about Henderson in a while. Sunset Station, Las Vegas Valley Local hit a jackpot netting more than $200,000, playing the Wheel of Fortune slot machine, and he bet only $3.75. At least at that sitting. See, what I always love is how much did this guy spend over time, years, or whatever?
We low roll. You know,
Right.
I watch slot shows on YouTube.
Okay.
Because I like to gamble, but I'm not stupid.
Within reason. Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
And one of the things I noticed is that they start off, and on these shows, they start off low,
Right.
and then they're making 25 because they're hooked now.
Right.
They're making $25 bets. Well, the average person can't make a $25 bet.
Right.
That's gas. That's food.
Easily.
Yeah. So
That's water.
yeah, right.
Water's almost as expensive as gas.
Yeah. So
right.
why they start off low rolling
Right.
and for fun, and then before you know it, now they're doing $100 bets, and then they're doing group pulls and all
Right.
this
They're betting well beyond their means.
beyond their means.
Absolutely.
And you now your show is supplementing your addiction.
Right. Right.
I have fun with it, and I know when to walk away.
Absolutely.
And she's like, no, you've played enough. It's time to go.
Absolutely. Well,
You know?
it's like Kenny- it's
Especially
like-
if she hits them like, and what number are we stopping at?
Yeah, that's the first thing out of her mouth. You just hit. I know. I'm going to this amount.
well, you always have to play off that next round anyway. My mama taught me that.
Oh,
When
you
hit,
always do a
you always
back.
gotta
You always
spin
do a
off.
backup spin.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to do that. But it's like, Kenny Rogers said, got to know when to hold them, got to know when to fold them.
Yep.
Right.
Well, we went to New Orleans. It was on her bucket list. I've been there many times.
Okay.
It's part of my history, and I had a dream about
Oh, that's right.
a game, and we decided to go to the casino there. My father used to go there all the time when he'd travel the coast because he was a musician,
Right.
and he would stop there. So I said, let's go. And we went there. We ate a little something, and the dream was like haunting me. And I told her about the dream. I said, it's this machine, and it's an Egyptian motif, and it has these three tall towers. Never saw this game before. We turn around a corner, and there are three in a row. And here's the game, exactly in my dream. I went to the first machine, I hit. And in my dream, I went to one machine, hit, second machine, hit, third machine, hit the big one. And I was like, the dream, I got to do the dream. Hit. I said, okay, sit down at this machine. She sat down at that machine and went to the middle one. Hit. I said, now the guy who was in the third got pissed because he had been playing for a long time. And I went, hit,
Boom,
hit,
boom,
boom,
boom.
I looked at him. I said, are you leaving? He goes, yeah. I sat down right in the
And it
seat.
hit.
And this one was the big one.
Wow.
And that's when this one was over here. And she goes, and we're leaving. And we're leaving. I said, she goes, you just paid for the trip. Let's
That's
go.
right. That's right. Absolutely.
I was like,
Absolutely.
yep, let's squirrel that money away, get a cab.
That's it. Get out of here. Get out while the getting's good, folks.
Yeah, besides, that guy might come looking for you.
That's right.
Oh, I've had it happen a couple
Yeah.
of times because they walk away from the machine. The machine is actually warm. It's hot,
Right.
you know. And well, I used to be a slot host.
Okay.
The machines are computers.
Right.
The computers are playing a game.
Right.
It's like playing chess with a computer.
Mhm.
You have to be a really good chess player to outthink a computer.
Sure.
But one thing is their own algorithms.
Right.
And people don't realize their algorithm is to go low. And then it peaks,
Right.
big win, and it comes down, and it's algorithms. And people go, "Oh, these machines are fixed. You can't fix a machine." It takes so much work to go into the computer and reset the computer. That's why you see these techs, they spend so much time and they block off these games
Mhm.
because it takes like 2 days to reset the computer.
Wow.
So, you know, I look at these people, it can't be fixed. You don't understand. It
Right.
can't be fixed.
Right.
It's a computer. It's on an algorithm.
Right.
They can change the algorithm, but
Sure.
it takes them forever to do it.
Right.
I said, so if somebody is playing and playing and playing and playing, they're playing the algorithm. My thing is, you play 6 hands. If you haven't received your bet back in 6 hands, it's time to move.
On video poker for that too, you're talking about?
If you haven't
Yeah.
received your bet back in 6 hands, at least your bet back
Right.
in 6 hands, that machine, nobody's been playing it. The algorithm is on low cycle.
Well, that's good to know. I
You
didn't
know?
know that because I like to play video poker.
Yeah.
When I
It
go-
works with that too. It's-
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
It's just an
I'll be
algorithm.
right back.
I was going to say the things you learn on this show is
Yeah.
crazy, isn't it? All right, last piece of news. This past week we lost. We lost a couple of weeks ago on October 8th. Burt Young, Paulie from the Rocky movies, passed away, and then earlier this past week, if you guys from the original Night Court TV series, the actor Richard Mole, who played Bull Shannon,
Oh my
passed
God,
away
did
as
he
well.
die?
He passed away. He was 83.
Yesterday, I think it was.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we want to send our thoughts and prayers out to all their families and great actors in their own right.
Mhm.
What? Your point?
Prayers, sorrows.
Oh, what do you have on there? I can't see what it says. What's it
It
say?
says,
Please read it for
this
me.
is from Patient's Car.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Mama Voodoo and Anti-Lady Top.
Anti-lady?
Auntie.
Oh, auntie.
Auntie.
There's an anti.
Auntie-lady.
I'm like, what's-
Auntie. I'm sorry, Auntie.
Auntie.
Auntie-lady
Well, thank you for
Cocktail.
watching. That's did that come in Facebook or did that come in YouTube?
That's on Facebook.
Really?
Okay, and then we're going to be
It's
on
funny, I
our
didn't get
show.
it.
Hi,
All right.
sister. We love you.
There you
Love
go.
you, sweetie.
All right.
Love you.
We're going to, when we come back, it's now time to spend time with the ladies here. We're going to get into their event they have coming up in January. And quite frankly, whatever they want to do, because I'm scared as crap anyway, no, I'm only kidding. We'll be right back.
I don't need another Fred. I'm good.
Most business owners struggle with the following issue. How do I brand my business to get noticed? Double 8 Design Studio helps businesses by designing brands that boost confidence, look and feel timeless, stand out from the competition, and attract all the right clients. Whether you are in need of a new brand, upgraded design elements, or completely redesign your current brand, Double 8 Design Studio has fully customized packages for your business. Call Chelsea McKendrick at 702-525-3334 and visit www.double8designstudio.com. Let Double 8 Design Studio give you a brand new outlook for your business.
I swear he sits on staples or something back there. Hey, welcome back to Aaron's Hour. I'm Aaron Phillips. Do not adjust your volume. My voice sounds like shit because it's getting cooler here. And it's kind of like my allergic reaction to temperatures changing. So just grin and bear it because James Earl Jones's mother has a cold right now. That's what I'm sounding like. Anyway, listen, don't adjust your sets, folks, because I have two ladies here. The weird Sistas.
Sistas.
I know. I got to get that New York accent in there. With Sistas. Is that where it's coming from? Sistas?
Actually, no. It's that's actually a term of endearment for all women.
Oh, okay.
Sistas.
Not sisters.
Yes.
But it's got to be the
It's
sisters.
sisters.
Gotcha.
Yes.
See, that's why I love my show because I learned so much. That's two things I've learned. Also,
About time.
you're not kidding. So we have Mama Voodoo and Lady TA is here with us. It's so cool to guys have you ladies here. 7th generation witches.
Correct.
So I'm going to start there. 7 generations. We're talking hundreds of years,
Yes.
maybe 200, 300, 400 years. How far back and where does the lineage start? That seventh generation, was it like Salem, like with the witches' trials in Salem,
No.
or like tell me a little bit about the lineage?
Okay. My grandmother
Okay,
came from Austria,
okay,
right? Her grandmother came over from Austria with her during World War II
okay,
to escape the Nazis.
okay,
Okay. Austrian Germans were actually targeted because Austria refused to bend to the Nazi rule.
okay,
So when they came over here, they brought what's called hexa. Hexa is the German word for a witch.
okay,
Witch is actually a slang. It's more of an insult, really. The word witch came out of the King James Bible. King James was the one who coined that word.
okay.
It means traitor.
Oh,
It means traitor. It also means like anti-religious or Satanist, because he believed anybody who didn't believe in his form of the Christian religion was automatically a traitor.
gotcha.
It was treason. You were therefore burned, hung, whatever.
Excuse me.
And they had ways of marking witches, really ridiculous ways. Like, for instance, I have a mole on my face. I'm
Okay.
automatically a witch. But
Really?
yes,
Okay.
in Austrian German belief, moles are a sign that you are gifted, that you are a hexa. And
Really?
it's not frowned upon.
Wow.
Hexes are not frowned upon. In fact, there's huge organizations in Germany that they relish it, and they're welcomed. There in Italy, there is a witch at Yule time that actually goes from house to house and fills stockings with candy and toys and things.
Okay.
If you got to understand that witches, until the Christian religion took over, witches, Wicca,
hmm
which means wise ones,
hmm
Healers.
healers,
Okay.
they were
Protectors.
usually the older women that were like the grandmothers.
Okay.
They were the ones who took care of the children, took care of
The
the ill,
nurturers,
the nurturers,
Okay.
the teachers,
Okay.
and most of them had natural gifts because there was no medicine at that time.
Right.
Medicine came out of that.
Right.
Like the Native Americans, for generations, you lived off the earth. So
Mhm.
Mother
Yeah.
Nature gave us everything we need.
Right.
All we're doing is, okay, this plant's for healing and calming. We're going to use it for this.
Gotcha.
Instead
Okay.
of using a chemical.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then
So
like
it's the same
natural
thing.
stones, amethyst, clear quartz, stuff
Right.
like that. It's all found in nature, and we're just using their energies and what
Gotcha.
they were put here for.
Gotcha.
And then then all the bad press came in, so that
Damn press.
if you were of another religion, and trust me, the Jews got the brunt of this.
hmm
Um,
That's my heritage.
okay,
You never know by my last name, but
but if you look at it, a redheaded Jewish woman was immediately killed.
mhm.
There were things that they used to do to them
Right.
because they felt that their saliva or their blood would be potent against any spells, and they would torture these women. And it was almost 99% women. Now, mind you, in Salem witch trials, there were 3 men that were. One was Giles Corey, and he was pressed to death because
Pressed to death.
Yes, he refused. He refused to say he was a witch. He refused to give in to them, their demands. They threatened to hang him. He said, "Hang me. It's over." So what they did is they dug a shallow grave. They put him in there, and they put a board over him and started putting weight on him, heavy stones. And they kept asking him to, sign, confess.
Right.
And he refused to do it. He just kept saying, "Add more weight."
Really.
So these are things, there were people that stood up to it.
Wow.
And my great grandmother, who was known as the Goose Lady,
Okay.
she was well known for healing and so on. But the town that my grandmother's people came from was burnt to the ground by the Nazis.
Okay.
And there's no records or anything. We don't know what happened to the rest of the
Jeez.
family. So when they came here, they brought it over here.
hmm
My grandma was taught,
Okay.
but they were very quiet about it.
Sure.
Because here it was different.
Right. Right. And it's
was a
probably
lot-
different. Still different today. I mean, I
Well, people come up to me and they, or to both of us,
Right.
you're going to hell. Well, we don't believe in hell.
Right.
So
So I'm not going anywhere.
yeah, but my usual retort to that is I can't. There's a restraining order. Yeah. So, and that usually just pisses them off. Actually, this just happened 2 days ago. I walked into Walmart. We're doing Opportunity Village, which is
Okay.
having
The Halloween.
Halloween.
Right.
The forest is haunted this year.
It's all for kids.
It's all for
That's right.
kids. They're a great charity. What they do
I used
for
to
this
volunteer
community.
during their Christmas
Yeah,
stuff. Used to
what they
volunteer
do
there.
for their community is amazing.
Absolutely.
And we volunteer every year. Well, we left and I had to go pick something up at Walmart. We needed clamps for our tent because
So
of
this
the
is after
wind.
we closed, closed
Yeah.
at 9:30 when the park closed.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so
She's
I'm still in makeup and
Still in
everything. I
garb.
go to Walmart. I have a cart and everything. Most people laugh or smile or want to take a picture. I'm walking in and there was a gentleman standing there and he looked at me and he goes, "You're going to hell." And I said, "Can't. There's a restraining order." And the guy looked at me and I said, "You would think the devil wouldn't be that thin-skinned."
That's right.
And I kept walking and the workers were dying. They were laughing their butts off.
So does that mean I'm going to see your picture in one of these articles that I get, the strange people you see in Walmart? I get that periodically.
I could just imagine because when we go places, like I pull up to McDonald's to get a drink. She's in costume. I'm in costume. She goes, "She's on a union break. It's okay." You know. So
Well,
we have a
She's not
sense
here
of
for you.
humor
We're here
about
for the
it.
food. We're
that's
good.
right.
Yeah.
There you go.
We have a sense of humor about it.
Well, I was just going to say, you need to have that in this day and age.
Yes, and yes, there is still a lot of prejudice out there.
Sure.
We try to educate.
Hmm.
We do get a lot of people who try to preach at us. Before I came here and I was getting dressed, we had some religious people come to my door,
Mhm.
which it's a closed community. And there's big signs that say, no solicitation
soliciting.
of any kind. And they came right up on my porch and she was on the second step. I opened the door and I'm like this. I was like, "Don't even go any further." And she just looked at me and I was like, "You're not even supposed to be on the property. Please get off the property."
I would have loved to have seen if it was 2 Jehovah Witnesses.
Uh,
That'd have been fun.
I believe that's what they were. But
Oh, is that what it
trust
was?
me,
Because they showed up at our
Yeah,
door
I-
last week. My wife answered them and said, "I'm Jewish. Thank you very much. Just keep going."
yeah, just keep going. It's okay. I had a friend one time, a male witch,
Mhm.
and he was getting ready to do a Sabbath,
Okay.
which is like our moon, full moon right
Gotcha.
now, right?
Right.
And he was a soul practitioner.
Okay.
He was wearing his robe.
Mhm.
He forgot he had his robe on.
Okay.
Knock at the door. He hadn't started yet. Goes to the door, opens the door. The robe's got all the runes on it, all this stuff, right? And he opens the door, and it's Jehovah's Witnesses. And he's standing there. He goes, "Can you come back in like a half an hour? Or you can come in and help me." And he goes, "But right now I'm in the middle of something." And it was a young girl, a young boy, and a very much older man. He grabbed the two young ones by the neck, turned them around, and pushed them down the stairs, and they were gone.
Jeez.
And I said, "Well, your house is now marked." You know?
So let me ask you this question. I have a daughter of a dear friend of mine who unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago, but his daughter, Wiccan. You kind of touched on it. You almost
Right.
said Wiccan. You almost said you used a
It's
different
Wicca.
word. Wicca.
Wiccan means that she's a practitioner.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's what
Wicca
she.
is what she's practicing.
Yes.
But so she's Wiccan because she's practicing Wicca.
Wicca.
Okay, got it.
Correct.
See, again,
See-
three
Okay,
things
now
I've
with-
learned
Now
today.
with us,
Okay,
we have different gifts.
okay,
Okay, and I mean it is real. Even though we joke, I'm the light to her dark.
right.
I have cookies.
I'm considered more of an earth witch. I use the stones. I
Okay.
use the herbs. I use the oils.
Okay.
She's
I've got
nature,
fleshies
a
right
nature
here.
witch. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about
Right
some
there.
of what we have here. Which
Okay.
what are we pointing to?
Any of the plushies.
Oh, wait, John has a question back there. Sorry.
Yeah, John.
I actually, it's more of a statement. It's kind of a coincidence that earlier this week, someone posted on my Facebook page, "Why are we taught to hate, or why are we taught to fear the witches and not the people who burned them?"
Correct.
And I think
Thank
that's the misconception that we have.
He got pressed. Now, who thought of that?
Somebody way out.
Some of the tortures that they had, they used to tie them to a chair, and it was called dunking.
Right.
And they would dunk them in the ice cold water. They would dunk them in ice cold water and leave them in there until they almost drowned, and then they'd bring them up and say, "Confess." Well, I'm sorry. They would put these boots on their feet and slowly turn screws into their feet. Anyone would confess under torture.
Oh, sure.
So
So before John was so rude and interrupting us.
Go ahead and pick one up. Go ahead and just pick one up so they
Okay.
can see it better. What I do is, these are called comfy critters. I put roses, lavender, amethyst clear quartz, and rose quartz inside them. That recipe is for calming. It's good for babies to adults. And you just touch it up with lavender oil.
Okay.
And
it
then
helps.
there's different recipes for like grieving or,
Yeah,
or different
anxiety,
things like that.
anything like that.
Anxiety.
Yeah, weight loss. I'm just kidding.
And no.
No, sorry. So that's your gift, is taking
Mine
Mother
is,
Nature.
Yeah, mine's all nature.
Okay.
Now, hers is a little different, and she's actually the tarot reader of the family. I didn't get
I was
that.
gonna
gift.
say I see the cards here.
I made my own cards.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I made my cards.
I'm just gonna hold one of them up if
Okay,
I can
yeah.
to the camera, John.
I made my
See if
cards.
I can get this on an angle. Not getting anything really on a good.
Yeah, sorry.
Plus, they're light. I can see that they're
Yeah.
visible.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're very. I made them
Okay.
a long time ago. Yeah.
Are you going to read tarot cards while we're here?
If you want me to do a reading, I'll do a reading.
Yeah, let's do a
If we
reading. Want to do a
if we
reading,
have
John?
time,
Okay,
yeah.
give me Fred.
So you can read me if you want. We'll just
Yeah.
make it simple.
Okay.
Hey, nephew.
You just don't
See.
tell me you know whose head that really was. It's a small head, though.
I have a joke about
Ralph
it, but I
Nader?
don't know if it's proper.
All right, no, we're on the internet. Everything is proper here.
Okay.
That's
Well,
just-
I
no,
joke-
no thin skinned. Okay.
Yeah. I joke about him. I said, that's Fred. He's dead. It's my ex-husband. It's the only head I ever got from him. So,
No, that's right in line with what we do here.
That's
That's
almost-
perfect.
Okay.
okay. So
That's-
we have a sense of humor. We try to keep PC in certain
Sure,
things.
sure.
You know, like she does the blessing brooms.
Right.
As
Those
well, yeah.
those you put in the living room or on your front door, and it sweeps away negativity.
Okay. Fireplace mantles too.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot
Yeah,
of them on
yeah,
there.
you
Right.
go either horizontal or up and down.
Gotcha.
I'm the artist of the family. I sculpt, I mold, I
Okay.
The
cast.
artwork on the
and
candles.
Candles are all mine.
Okay. How about this plate that's up here? What
That
is
is actually, I made that. That's a wheel of the year. That's our calendar. That's the witch calendar. So
And Halloween or Samhain is
Samhain.
our New Year.
yes,
Really?
Yes.
it's also when the veil is the thinnest, which means the separation of the two worlds,
Okay.
the afterworld and this world, is so thin that your past, your ancestors can come forward and speak with you. And if you notice in some cultures, like Spanish cultures,
Mhm.
they have Dios de Muertos, the Day of the Dead.
Mhm.
Roman, it's Memento Mori, which means dead remembered.
Mhm.
And so these things, it doesn't matter what culture, everybody has it. Even
Has something.
even the Japanese
Right.
have something. You know,
In Vegas, we just call that Saturday night, by the way.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like in Hebrew,
Yeah.
you cover the mirror when somebody dies.
That's correct. We don't want to see our reflection while we're mourning.
That's not the only reason why you do that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's one that
Because-
I was taught. So what
Yes.
am I missing?
No, there's more.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is. But wait, there's more.
Because spirits, that's a portal.
Oh,
And the deceased can come through
okay.
because you don't want them to be stuck in this world.
Okay.
You want them to pass on.
Move on. Right.
Move on.
Right.
So you cover the mirrors so that they won't be tempted
To come through.
to come through.
I did not know that. That's
Yes.
4 things for me today. I'm glad I do my show. Glad I'm back on the air. I learned so much today.
Oh, you're fixing to get some good information.
Oh, that's all right. I can't wait. I can't wait. No, to me, my mom passed away 23 years ago come November, and we traveled from here back to Jersey. That's where we laid her to rest. The night we arrived, we stayed at Rabbi's house. My sister and brother-in-law's rabbi, because we didn't, it was so fast. It was Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm laying in bed, and to this day, I honestly don't know if I dreamt it or I saw this. But as I'm laying there, it was my mom with my grandparents, who are also deceased. My mom passed away after many, many years of diabetes, double amputation, the whole thing. But she was in that vision with both her legs, patting her legs, everything is
was
fine. And she remembered, it was like a current memory of my daughters and everything. My grandparents, everybody looked great. My thing was, I just don't know if I dreamt that I was asleep and saw it, or that as I'm laying there, I saw my mom and my grandparents.
Okay,
I
You
still
saw your
don't know.
mom and
So-
your grandparents.
Really?
You
Really?
saw them. Okay, so every time someone passes away, there is a certain amount of time before they have a choice to go on
Okay.
or remain.
Okay.
That's where all these different spectral things happen. And there are different levels, and that's a whole nother show. Okay.
That
Part
would take
two.
a while.
That
ladies.
one would take a long time to talk about. But
We'll set it up. We'll have a whole series.
Okay, with everything being thin,
yes.
talk to your grandparents.
You
Talk
can
to
talk
your
to
mom.
Well, my mom was a smoker for many, many years until she got really sick. But my wife and I will be sitting in my living room watching television, and I'll smell cigarette smoke.
Yep.
And I know
You
it's
say,
her.
"Hey, Mom."
I
Right,
do
just say-
every time.
Yeah.
And as soon as I recognize, it's gone.
Yep.
But I do know that's okay. It's Mom's here. Hey, Ma, how you doing? Everything good? Yeah.
Right now, I've got a full house. I've got all my ancestors.
Yeah.
And I've got a few ghost cats running around,
Oh,
Yeah. See,
which I've already got 2 cats and a dog and Pork Chop, my black cat, like in between rooms, doorways, hallways,
Right.
by windows, by doors.
Yes.
He is chatting with everybody
Wow.
all over the place.
see, I have my mother's ashes.
Okay.
My mother had a very strong belief, and she told me she had Alzheimer's. She died of a horrible disease. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
My grandmother passed of that too.
When she was lucid, she made me promise. She said,
Sorry.
"You're good." She said, "I lived my life in a box.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be in eternity in a box."
Mm.
So she wanted to be cremated,
Mm-hmm.
which my biological brother had a hard time with. And I was like, this is her decision, not yours.
Right.
Your
It's her
opinion
wish.
is not,
Right.
not involved here.
Right.
But when they brought out the ashes, my brother recoiled from it. And I'm like, why are you recoiling? That's not her. It's just the remains of a shell.
Body.
Of a shell.
Right.
She's gone.
Right.
She's free. She's out of pain.
Right.
So I took the ashes, put them, and they put them in a box in a
Right.
bag, right? Here's a little funny story. I flew there from here.
With
And
Mom in a box.
I flew back with Mom, and mind you, I was very tight with my mother, but I had made a promise to her that I would not watch her die. She didn't realize the 5 years I took care of her, I was watching her die
Sure.
every day.
Sure.
But I was told
Mm-hmm.
she was dying to leave. So I left.
Gotcha.
Every day I had a vision every day of what was happening to her. And I was telling this brother, because he was now her caretaker.
Right.
And he put her in a home. And every day I was telling him exactly what was happening. The day she died, I knew she was going to die anyway. I spoke to her 20 minutes before she passed. She said to me, "I'm very, very tired." She goes, "I want to go to sleep." I said, "Go to sleep, Mom. We'll be fine."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "You have our permission to leave."
Right.
She died within 20 minutes. The next day, I did a standby flight.
Wow.
Went there, did the funeral, did the cremation, had to come back. It hit me coming back. I knew she was dying anyway. It's your mother, or
Absolutely.
whatever. I had her in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
I go to get on into my seat, and there are 2 women sitting there, and they're taking over the 3 seats. And I said, "Excuse me, that's my seat." And the woman goes, "Find another." I looked at her and said, "Ma'am, I paid for the window seat. I'm going to sit in that window seat if I'm in your lap the whole way back to Las Vegas, 7.5 hours." And she's like, she said some cuss words at me, and she goes, "You go find another seat, woman." And I said, "No, you're going to find another seat." At that point, I started raising my voice because the emotion was hitting
Sure.
me.
Sure.
I said, "My mother just died. I just went to her funeral. I really don't need this." At that point, here come the stewards, whoosh, either
Right.
side of me.
Right.
And the one put her arms around me, and she was like, "I'm right here." I said, "I'm sorry, I'm losing it." I said, "But I just came from my mother's funeral.
Right.
I want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
I want to sit in my seat and try to sleep."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "We got you." She says, "Show me your tickets." And so the 2 women were in the middle and the end seat.
Right.
So they took their time, of course, and they're hustling slowly. And finally, and I'm trying to get past them, and the woman tried to trip me. If I finally get my seat, here's the bag, and the stewardess goes, "Do you want me to take that for you, honey?" Because she saw what it was.
Right.
And I said, "No, I'd rather have her with me." And the women look at me and they go, "What?" And I put my mother down between my feet, right? And the woman kicks the bag. I said, "Don't kick my mother." And they looked at me and they were like, "What?" I said, "Don't kick my mother." Are you telling me that I said was a person? Yes. My mother's remains are right there.
Wow.
So don't kick my mother's remains. The two women, the whole trip were like this.
Good.
I mean, literally curled up against one another. The stewardess comes over. She brings me a drink. She brings me a pillow and everything. Right. 7 hours. These women are quiet. Finally, get back to Las Vegas, and the one woman goes, "I apologize for how I acted, and I'm very sorry for your loss." I said, "Well, thank you very much for that." She goes, "You can go first." I said, "Thank you." Pick up my mother's bag. Said, "Come on, Mom, I'm going to show you Vegas." Right?
Before we go to our break, let's do the tarot cards,
Okay.
and then we're going to take our final break because when we come back, I want to talk about your event in January.
Okay.
Right. So
You're going to mix the cards.
Okay.
All right. Mix them as much as you want.
I can shuffle them and
Yep.
flip them and flop them and all that other good stuff.
I made these cards a long time ago, and they will be buried with me.
All right. In the interest of time, I zippy zappy, didn't I shuffle?
Okay.
Okay.
Left-handed or right-handed?
I am right-handed.
Left hand, make 3 piles to the left. I'm going to do a quick reading.
Okay.
What I'm doing is called the Mystic Cross.
Okay.
I'm doing a real quick version. So this is going to be just a little quickie because
That's right.
normally this takes a little bit longer.
No worries. Take your time. John's moving the camera in place.
Here.
Jennifer McCord out in Hawaii. I hope you're watching. I know you are. You're in the chat room. That's a
Okay.
lot of cards.
There's usually a lot more. So the basis of your reading is several things.
Okay.
One has to do with a personal judgment, something that you've come to grips with, that you personally have finally made peace with. This has to do with the things that you love, something that you love a lot, not necessarily a person. Has to do with either a hobby or a job, a position.
Okay.
A lot of people around you have shared their opinions that they feel that you're being foolish or you're being not necessarily childish, but you're dreaming.
Okay.
Okay. And you're at peace with what you're doing. You're at peace with your decision. Don't let them influence you. Don't let them tell you how to run your life.
About that hobby you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
That actually, in the long run, you have been slowly getting better and climbing in this. And that those haters are just doing it because they haven't followed their dreams. You're following a dream. You're following also what you consider an art form.
Mhm.
The cards are saying the problem is patience and the fact that you have to work around what you want to do. You would rather be doing it 24/7, but you can't. We understand that because that's what we do right now.
Mhm.
The other thing is money, because all creative things take money as a basis.
Mhm.
But you will be offered something very shortly. It won't be what you want, but take it, because it is a stepping stone to what you love. The other thing is the cards are saying, as opposed to other people, you are virtuous in it. Your heart is in it. You're ethical about what you're doing. Where other people are using it as a platform, you are not using it as a platform. You're using it because it's where your heart is.
Okay.
Okay.
Would that be like passion you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. See, now, this is a mixed bag here.
Of course.
Okay. Because it is an art form,
Mhm.
you have many artists do not get recognized until after they pass.
Mhm.
A lot of friends, family feel that you're hanging, you're playing the martyr, the hanged man, which is nonsense. Because if you're happy in what you're doing, and even Da Vinci said this, if you are happy in what you are doing, then aren't you successful? My father was a musician, and he told me, he goes, it doesn't matter if 20 people know you or 200,000 people know your name. If you are happy in creating your music, then you're a musician.
Mhm.
If you're happy creating your artwork, then you are an artist. Just because some hoity-toity know-it-all who has a lot of money in a Bentley says you're great doesn't make you great.
Right.
What makes you great is your ethics behind it
Mhm.
and how you feel about it and your passion about it.
Mhm.
So the cards basically are saying, yes, there are trials. Yes, you know, it's wands. Wands are like trial and error. Wands are obstacles.
Mhm.
Swords are usually people aiming things at you,
Right.
anger, their opinions. So these people, they're doing it for their own reason. They're not doing it for you. Their heart isn't in it for you.
Mhm.
They're dictating. Just don't let them dictate. Just keep moving the way you're doing what you're doing. Yes, you will get an offer. It's not going to be exactly what you want, but it's a stepping stone.
Okay.
And just take that and go on from there.
Interesting. The mind is turning. All right. With that, we're going to step aside for our last break of the show. When we come back, these ladies
Right
have it. Well, and as soon as I'm done talking,
Okay.
they have a show coming up in January, which we'll spend some time talking about. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
How unique.
It's gorgeous.
You'll find the art that speaks to your heart at Desert Valley Gallery. I've got to have it.
So colorful.
I can't live without it. You'll find the art that speaks to your heart at Desert Valley Gallery.
There. Hi there. Hey, by the way, if you go to Desert Valley Gallery up in Tivoli Village, John, you didn't remind me. If you, for your first $1,000 purchase, first time, they will give you 20% off just in time.
I didn't need to remind you.
That's very true, but you didn't remember to remind me the first time this commercial ran either, or during Thoughts Count Anywhere, you didn't remind me to remember anyway. Anyway, go up there, mention Aaron's Hour, mention WWDBTV Studios, mention that, whatever it is, just go in there, ask for Ed, Richard, or any of the ladies there. Tell them you saw the commercial here. $1,000 first purchase, you get 20% off just in time for the holidays. Give a gift of, if you don't want to give a gift, get it for yourself. Give a gift to yourself. Great stuff up there. All right.
Cool stuff.
Cool stuff. A lot of good stuff up there. All right. So you ladies have a show coming up in January.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Can we have the logo stuff and the QR code stuff there, John, if you don't mind? So let's talk about what that show is in January.
It's Witch Vegas.
Okay.
Okay. It's an event. It is an event for people like us
Mhm.
who are interested in all the different branches of what we call our tree.
Okay.
Because every religion has many branches.
Sure.
So we're having speakers,
Okay.
and we actually just got word that Oberon Zell. Now, if you're a witch, you should know who he is.
Okay.
He's written many books. He's coming. He's going to sign books. He's going to speak. We're
Okay.
going to have quite a number of speakers. Our sponsor, Our main sponsor is Indigo Psychics,
Okay.
Coffee and Clarity.
Okay.
They are a psychic coffee company. You can get a cup of coffee and a couple of good words there.
Oh, it's not like they knew what you wanted to order before you walked in. That's what I was
You
just
know what?
wondering.
I half the time I don't know what I want to order when I walk in. So, but they're our main sponsor. We are the hosts of the show.
Okay.
We are having vendors.
Okay.
We are on Eventbrite. It's Witch Vegas Eventbrite, where you can get the tickets.
We just put a picture up that has a QR code on it.
Yeah.
I believe as well. There you go.
Yeah. And it's really shaping up. We're getting there.
Is this the first time you're doing this kind of
Yes,
show?
this is the first time. What we noticed at a lot of events that we've gone to, it's the same thing. It's we stepped outside the box to
Okay.
do this. We are having different speakers. We are having a speaker on Norse beliefs. We're having a speaker on how to Appalachian.
Okay.
There's several women coming from Appalachia, and they're talking about their ancient witch
Wow.
beliefs and
Okay.
what they do and what their beliefs are. We're having a speaker on voodoo and hoodoo
Okay.
and the difference between the voodoos. There's going to be a lot going on.
Okay.
We're trying to get a Kurlan photographer. I don't know if you know what that is.
I do not.
It is aura photography.
Okay.
So
You sounded like you know what that meant.
I do.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
yes,
Is that from the 60s?
Yes.
That's why you remember.
Actually, it goes back.
A
You
lot.
have to define 60s. Which one? 16, 17, 18, 19? No, it does. It's they photograph and
No,
and you,
I got you.
Okay.
I'm busting your
You know-
chops.
you know
I'm busting
what
your
the
chops,
is.
John. I'm
Yeah.
busting your chops.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Here.
But it's going to be January 20th and 21st at the Orleans Casino.
Okay.
We actually went to quite a number of casinos. We won't name the casinos. And one of them told us we don't want to be involved in anything like that.
Okay.
And the other casinos wanted to charge us ridiculous, exorbitant rates.
Sure.
Orleans actually embraced us. And
That's good.
We're totally cool about it.
Good.
We're having a witchy rave.
Which will be Saturday night.
Okay.
Which will be Saturday night. There will also be a best dressed witch contest.
Okay.
Best dressed witch, best witch hat, best witch broom.
Oh,
And they will receive prizes. I think it's going to be amazing, and we're hoping that this won't be the last one. That
Okay.
it'll be just
well, you got
number
to start
one.
with the first one before you get to the second one.
Yeah, it's exactly it.
And so, do you have any like ballpark idea of how many attendees you're shooting for? How are you marketing? I mean, I know you're marketing, promoting on Eventbrite and everything.
Yes, we're
You're
promoting
here today and we're
on,
promoting it.
on Facebook. We're
Okay.
promoting it on Instagram, TikTok.
Gotcha.
We're going for all the medias that we can get.
Okay.
And word of mouth is the biggest thing.
Of course.
And we're just
Well,
either which way we're gonna be there, and we're gonna have fun. If there's 5 people or 20 people.
there you go. Well, as I'm sitting here and for the
He's
last,
waving his hand. It's like
what? What do you want?
I have a question.
Oh God.
Yes.
No. Don't worry. It's not that. So witches and brooms have always been. I mean, they're
You want to know the
inseparable.
origin of the broom?
I actually do. That's my
Okay,
question.
here
How
you
does
go.
where does that
Hold on,
origin
see.
come from?
Hold Fred.
Education time.
Education. By the way, I used to lecture on the origins of myths, legends, and lore. Yes, I have.
Cool. That'd be a
I-
great
yeah.
show.
I have a bachelor's. I actually have 2 degrees. So every myth and legend is based on some truth and fact.
Mhm.
The broom originated because witches during certain times of the year used fertility sticks. The sticks were long, like my staff, and the top had a phallus on it. The women who were the priestesses or the leaders of their community would put it between their legs and ride around in the fields. Then usually they would pick a couple or pick several men and women, depending on your belief system, and they would literally fornicate
Mhm.
in the field.
Mhm.
It's to bless the field. Often, if they bought land and they were going to till the land, they tilled the land, and then the owner would take his wife or a significant other and fornicate to bless the land. So
Okay.
it would be prosperous.
Okay.
So it would be fertilized.
Mhm.
When Christianity took over, anyone with one of those staves was immediately put to death, was burned at the stake, was garroted. Garroting is two sticks with a wire or a rope between it. They tie it around their neck and twist, and it would be a slow choke. Hang. There were many tortures. So they had to hide the phallus.
Gotcha.
Hello, broom.
So it was underneath the
Correct.
Bristles.
Under the bristles.
Thank you.
And then they realized it had a second use. You can clean the house with it, but it was also ceremonial
Right.
to sweeping away negativity.
Gotcha.
If you have a brand new home and you want to bless your home, which we do, you take a brand new broom that's never been used. You go from the back door to the front door
Sweeping it out
and
the
you
front.
sweep it out the front door.
Okay.
Okay. Same thing. If you're a woman who's divorced, you take your wedding shoes and you put them out the back door,
Okay.
which means you're leaving that life behind.
Gotcha.
So all of these things are all symbolic. Even the indigenous people, the women divorced men, by the way, in the indigenous cultures. If they were done, they would take the husband's slippers, these
Right.
moccasins, and put them
Right.
outside the door, meaning, you're done.
Right. It's
Walk.
equivalent to throwing your stuff on the lawn.
Yes,
nowadays, right?
yeah, right, exactly. It was just more civil.
Sure.
But all these things have a basis
Sure.
in some truth or fact.
Right.
You talk about cryptids and so on. These creatures that they say don't exist but do exist.
Right.
Skinwalkers, for instance.
Mhm.
These things are real.
Right.
They've been around for a long time. Otherwise, why has it been for hundreds of years that people have the same damn stories? And it's sort of like, photographing Batman. It's always blurry.
Why'd she have to pick on Batman?
Like Batman.
Show her your phone.
I don't have to. She sees it on my hat, my pad. I got it all over here.
We're good.
I am a Batman freak. That's
But
what it is.
that gives you,
Okay.
because everything that we use has a natural use.
Right.
Everybody goes, oh, well, wands. What about wands? Okay. Wands are a focal point. And most of the time they were ceremonially used to focus the energy from above, as above, so below.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Same thing with the pentagram, which is our symbol.
Right.
Fire, water, earth, air, spirit. Circle around it is infinity or eternity.
Right.
In fact, we educated a young lady yesterday on that. 2 young girls came over, and of course, the first words out of their mouth is this Satan worshiping. We have absolutely nothing to do
No.
with Satan. We're older than Hebrew religion. The only religion that is older than our religion is actually shamanism.
Right.
So, because that is the belief that rocks and animals
Right.
have spirits. So I'm right there.
Yeah.
So we educated them. We didn't chastise them. We didn't mock them. We want you to be educated.
And to ask questions.
Uh-huh.
And to ask questions.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because we have about a minute left, so I can
Yeah.
start wrapping up.
My maternal grandmother last name is Kilgore, so that's Scottish. We're able to trace that back to the 4th century.
Wow.
Jesus came out in 33.
Okay.
I'm going back to the 4th.
Right.
So that's where I get most of mine from,
Mhm.
is because of the land and then the cycles of the sun and everything else.
Right.
That's where I draw mine from.
Gotcha.
Let's give you a little reason. We are sisters, by the way.
Yes.
We are actual biological sisters. I was born on the East Coast. She was born on the West Coast.
Okay.
Our father.
Our father, let's just say he got around.
Okay, and he
Okay.
loved redheads.
Yeah, he loved redheads. And so we didn't know each other until 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But we knew, I knew Dad had family there.
Yeah.
She knew Dad had
Right.
family here.
Right.
But
We
we
met
met on
by-
accident.
By accident.
Wow.
And then she came over to my house because we hit it off. And she's like, why is a picture of my father on your wall?
Oh, my gosh.
And then I couldn't pinpoint it for the longest time. I kept looking at her like, I know you. And then next to my father's picture, I was like, oh my God, you look just like Dad. So that's where the sister part comes
Right.
out. We were actually very happy that we discovered this.
Absolutely. All right, listen, we got to wrap up. Ladies, I know we've only scratched the surface on so much, and that's okay because I'm sitting here finding myself mesmerized in hearing the information from you. And I rarely get that way with guests.
Yeah.
I'm thinking ahead, but when I get absorbed, it's just like, I know it's some good stuff, and I have so many more questions that I would like to invite you to come back on and keep educating, especially
excellent.
as we maybe lead into your show in January, just kind of keep getting some information out there. So I want to thank you.
Real quick,
Yeah.
Opportunity Village is opened every night right now through Halloween. They open at 5:30, and there's carnival rides, carnival food, prizes, mini golf, just all kinds of stuff going on.
And if
There's
you don't-
also candy stations. So it's
All over.
safe.
Yes.
It's safe
trick-or-treating.
trick-or-treating.
Absolutely.
Bring your kids in costume. They can trick or treat as they're going through. The forest is an actual forest, and all the decorations have been donated by different companies that
Sponsor
sponsor it. And the forest is haunted at sunset. I'll scare you later. I'll scare you later.
If I want to get that scary, just look at my checking account. Anyway, I want to thank the Weird Sistas for coming in today. Great learning as much as I did today. In all seriousness, it was a great learning experience for me. I do want to ask you about your makeup, but that has to be a next time question.
That's a long one.
That's okay. On next week's show, Trisha Keene, news anchor here at Channel 13. She'll be joining us. Looking forward to chatting with her. Have a great, safe holiday weekend. This weekend, I don't know, here in Nevada, we celebrated Nevada Day yesterday. But of course, Halloween coming up. Please be safe. As always, be kind to everybody. Why? We are all we have. We'll see you next time right here
Worms and hisses.
on Aaron's Hour.